Assembly, I wish to thank the Vice President of the Republic of Iraq for the statement just made, and I request protocol to escort His Excellency. The Assembly will hear a statement by His Excellency Riek Machar, Riek Machar, Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan. I request protocol to escort His Excellency. I have great pleasure in welcoming the Vice President of the Republic of South Sudan, His Excellency Riek Machar, and to invite him to address the Assembly.
Mr. President, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, allow me from the outset to join fellow member states in congratulating you on your esteemed election to preside over the 67th session of the United Nations General Assembly, and to commend your predecessor for his successful stewardship of the last session of the United Nations General Assembly. I would like to seize this momentous occasion to express our deepest gratitude and appreciation to the Secretary General of the United Nations for the passion and compassion he has shown in responding to the various global challenges facing the organization. Most importantly, his unwavering personal support for our self-determination referendum, independence, and the speedy admission of the Republic of South Sudan into the United Nations. Furthermore, we are also deeply grateful to this Assembly for the warmth, generosity, hospitality accorded to our President when he addressed this Assembly last year. He made that address at the time when the international community was concerned over the viability of our new nation. In the light of the progress we have made, and despite recent events, I am pleased to address this Assembly this year under the theme of 67th session, bringing about adjustment or settlement of international disputes or situations by peaceful means. Mr. President, the Republic of South Sudan achieved its independence peacefully through the exercise of the right of self-determination by the people of South Sudan in an internationally supervised referendum as it is stipulated in the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, CPA. The international community played an important role in this process of our independence. We are therefore very thankful to all those who helped us achieve independence, not least the United Nations. Mr. President, our declaration of independence on July 9th, 2011, did not resolve all the issues between us and the predecessor state, the Republic of Sudan. These unresolved post-independence issues include border demarcation, oil infrastructure, security, and the final status of a BA area. The bilateral engagement of the two countries failed to achieve an agreement. As a result, the African Union intervened by mandating the African Union High Implementation Panel under President Thabo Mbeki to facilitate negotiations between the two parties. As the situation continued to deteriorate, the UN Security Council intervened and passed Security Council Resolution 2046, This resolution sets out a clear roadmap for resolving all remaining differences between Sudan and South Sudan, including Abyei, and addresses the conflicts in southern Kordofan and Blue Nile as well. Mr. President, before I discuss the developments in the talks in Addis Ababa, allow me to brief this assembly also on other issues of importance, such as the state building, food security, public service reform, access to education, security and accountability in my country. Mr. President, we have embarked on laying concrete foundation for a prosperous, democratic, and stable nation by establishing institutions at national, state, and local government levels for governance and delivery of services to the people. Mr. President, we believe that food security is not a privilege, but a basic right of each and every citizen in South Sudan. No citizen should go hungry. As the saying goes, a hungry man is an angry man. It will not be good for the stability of the country if we have many hungry and angry men. In our endeavor to achieve food security, we are diversifying the economy by utilizing the oil revenue to fuel agriculture and build the necessary basic infrastructure. This is the only way we would benefit from our vast, fertile agricultural lands that our country is immensely endowed with. Mr. President, our public service is functioning satisfactorily, especially after introducing far-reaching public service reforms. This has brought about efficiency, transparency in service delivery. We have introduced constructive and effective reforms in our public financial management and have strengthened measures to improve transparency and accountability. Mr. President, as to education, we have increased access to education for all children in South Sudan. Since the signing of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement in 2005, enrollment in our primary schools has more than doubled. In this past year, we have continued to strengthen and expand the education sector by further introducing alternative education. This innovative notion of alternative education system is currently offering accelerated learning programs to more than 200,000 youth and adults. Favorable conditions in terms of service for teachers have been introduced throughout the country, and the government is working tirelessly to meet the rapidly increasing demand for secondary school education caused by increase of primary schools enrollment. However, the government still has a long way to go in providing educational opportunities for our children and youth that prepares them for the future and meets their expectations and aspirations. At this juncture, Mr. President, allow me to commend the launch by the UN Secretary General of the Global Initiative on Education, which we hope will open up avenues of collaboration between South Sudan and the international community on improving education access for our children. Mr. President, our nation has been tested enormously in its first year of independence. We have been tested by conflicts within and beyond our borders. We have been tested by severe economic hardship, and we have been tested by revelation of severe abuse of the public trust and funds, resulting partly from malpractices and lack of capacity. The government is taking serious corrective measures and institutional capacity building to address this issue in order to restore public confidence. My government is striving harder than ever to combat corruption in our public service, along with reform systems for management of public funds, and tighter controls. We're combating corruption through the rule of law and through greater transparency and accountability. The government has enacted legislations that hold public officials accountable and brings the management of our resources closer to international standards. The government has published the entire annual budget and opened our books to public scrutiny. By the end of this year, we aim to be up to date on all the audits of our national accounts since the beginning of the Comprehensive Peace Agreement in 2005. As an accountable government before our people, we still believe there is a long way ahead to achieve the efficiency, transparency, and accountability in our public service and financial management. Despite the economic peril since the shutdown of oil production, we are nevertheless encouraged that this period of austerity has strengthened our resolve to press ahead in our reform agenda and has allowed us to lay a strong foundation for more efficient and accountable governance beyond the austerity period. Tough times never last, but tough people do. With regard to security, currently the Republic is facing security threats in the form of armed militia groups, creating insecurity and undermining the young democracy. The government has accorded the highest priority in reaching peaceful resolution to these internal conflicts. 4 of the armed militia groups have laid down their arms and integrated voluntarily into our national army and